Welcome North Bay Anglers. Today we're going to be talking about jerkbaits and everything on jerkbaits. So to start off, we know that there are two major types of jerkbaits. There's the suspending and the floating jerkbaits. The suspending jerkbaits sink, hint the name suspending. They sink down and suspend in the water column until you give them action and reel them in. While these, when you cast them out, they'll just float on the surface, and when you start to reel them in, this bill will drag it down under the water surface. This is usually for more topper water presentations, while these can sink down and you get deeper down with these. How to fish these is honestly pretty self-explanatory. With these, you can let them sink down to mid-water column, and then you give them a jerking action. So you'll take your rod tip and you'll give it twitches so that the jerkbait twitches and darts in the water. That mimics an injured bait fish. Same things with the floating ones. They'll sit at the top of the water once you cast them out, and you can start reeling them down to maybe get below the water surface and then give them twitches from there. Personally, I like these a little bit better just because getting deeper down, especially in most situations where you want to get near structure, these are going to be more useful for getting down under the water and near that structure. Now, the sinking ones do tend to weigh a little bit more than the floating ones, but either way, especially if jerkbait's these size, you're not going to want anything above a light or a medium light rod, maybe 6 or 8 pound test. You can even go lower test if the jerkbaits are smaller. Let's say you have a 6-inch jerkbait, a giant lure, you're going to want something more of like a medium. And those are going to be for targeting bigger fish like very large bass or muskie, something along those lines. Now, what do these things catch? Well, let's say about this size, you'd be targeting bass or maybe some trout. Rapala makes some great jerkbaits for trout. Well, anything like this or smaller, it can also be for panfish. Like crappie will eat this, bluegill will eat this. Any type of predatory fish is going to want an injured bait minnow. So keep in mind the sizing for what you're trying to fish for. Let's pause and take a look at the website. Here's where you can sign up to be notified when we open our website and for our newsletters. All you have to do is type in your email, then click this little arrow. Welcome to North Bay Angler Co. Thanks for the support. Now let's get back to the video. And if we're thinking about the season, let's say it's summertime and it's warm outside, some topwater lure might be a better choice, just because you can see bass or crappie, maybe not crappie, but mostly bass blowing up on the surface. And that's going to give you a hint that you want more of a surface presentation. Well, if it's cold winter months, they're going to be down deep in the water. You're going to want something that sinks down to get to those fish. My favorite time and place to use these guys are if I'm on a boat and I need to get deep down right under me. These will sink down and get to the bottom of the lake pretty quick, and it's a good imitation of a minnow. You just have to keep in mind that these do have two open exposed treble hooks on them, so try not to cast them near fallen trees or bushes under the water, any type of brush where it could get snagged on. Try to avoid those situations when you're fishing with jerkbaits. If you have any questions or any comments on how to fish these guys, leave them in the comments below. We'll be answering all the questions you guys have. If you guys want to see us fishing with either one of these, also tell us, and we'll go out on the river or lake, and you can see us fishing with these and how-tos. See you later. Peace.